What's going on, guys? Nikki, by the way, and today I'm coming back at you again with another First Descendant video. Today we're going to be breaking down what you should do once you access hard mode. So to start off, you've beat the main storyline, you've beat all the bosses. First thing you're going to want to do is come in, and you now have access to the hard mode zones. So you're just going to come through and you're going to do some random little missions and get yourself some base 100 level gear to start off with. When you get out of the story, your things are going to be about 92, 94, somewhere around there. You're going to want to come through, you're going to get level 100 stuff. One great thing to do is if you come into your map and you press F to view difficulty level rewards, you can come in and you can see the reactors and where you can farm them. So like say we're playing, for example, Viesa. You could come in and you could find where you could farm a reactor for the exact element you need, the ability type, and the ammo that the weapon mounting would require. So for example, you wanted something to say, let's say you wanted to have a thunder cage. You would come in and you would look for something as you scroll down that has general rounds. For example, something like this, one of these could be great for a bunny build. I'm not sure about the actual ability type here, but the General Electric, that would tell you that those two things are going to be guaranteed, and you can farm those. Another thing that's really important is your processor and sensor. These rotate every week to different external components, and you'd be able to go in and farm, for example, when I first got to hard mode, I went in and farmed a defense HP and then a double defense memory and auxiliary power. These add a lot of survivability. As you can see now, I'm able to get up to 8.3k HP, 41.6k defense. It's extremely helpful for your survivability, and it'll make things a lot easier. One thing you definitely don't want to do is, I know you're going to be tempted, but you do not want to jump straight into hard intercept battles. They're quite a big difficulty increase from the originals. So what you're going to want to do is once you've gotten your base level 100 stuff, you're going to want to farm a bit, and you're going to try and take out Hanged Man. This is going to be how you finally wrap up everything normal mode you need to do, and that'll allow you to access the hard intercept battles. At that point, what you're going to want to do is not jump into intercept battles. You're going to want to go through and you're going to want to farm up and craft catalysts so that you can go in and essentially, if you played Warframe, form up your characters. As you can see here on my Freyna, she's who I mainly play, I have 4 catalysts. I'm still currently working on her. But if you look, you can see when I come into her Descendant modules, I have a bunch of different things with a specific polarity on them. These polarities reduce the mod capacity cost in half. So for example, if I come over to this where I have some extra space, if I were to take this one, so you see my Iron Defense currently costs 8. If I drag it into one that doesn't have a matching polarity, it costs 16. It's a bit different for your submodules. The submodules, instead of reducing it, because submodules give you extra capacity over here on the right, what they do is if you have a submodule that doesn't match, it would then reduce it, but if it matches the polarity of your slot, as you can see here, I have the 3 lines. You put it in, you can see when I have it out, it normally would only give 10. When I put it in, it gives 15. It actually boosts how much you get by 50% instead of reducing the cost, allowing you to get an extra 5 module slots for your Descendant. Next, after you've gotten some catalysts in your character, you're going to want to get a weapon and you're going to want to focus it. I like the Python. A lot of people have great use with the Thunder Cage, but it all comes down to personal preference. Another one a lot of people like to use for DPSing bosses is the Tamer. It is a fantastic machine gun, one of the highest DPSs in the game from my understanding. I really like it, but I wanted to build into the Python as it carries into a lot of the builds I want to use later down the road. And what you want to do is you'll start putting catalysts in these as well. So if you come into my Python, you can see I have several slots, and I'm not even done putting catalysts in this. So you're going to want to go in and do that. One thing you can also do, if the weapon that you're going to be using is ultimate, go in and farm multiple copies. With multiple copies, I'll just show an example. I don't currently have anything that I have multiple copies of. But you can come down to the weapon research bench. Just right around this corner. Come into this, you can do enhance unique ability. What you'll do with this is you'll come in and you'd select the extra copy you've crafted, and it would increase the level of your unique ability. This will cause the abilities to have more damage, less cooldown, depending on the abilities. It could be a very fantastic thing to do. For example, as you can see with this is the weapon you get from the Season Pass. I have the unique ability at level 2, and it now allows me to fire, I believe, more sticky bombs, and it does more damage. This specific weapon, if you come into your Battle Pass, you'll notice they actually give you several copies. I'll be getting another one at 88. And then you get a skin at the end. But you can actually do this with all ultimate weapons. Unfortunately, you can't do it with ultimate descendants or normal descendants either. You can't go in and like use extra copies to make them more powerful. But doing this with your weapons will make them much stronger and give you a much better time going through the grind. Next thing you're going to do that carries into what we did with the catalyst is you're going to want to focus on your modules. Good modules and a good module build make a world of difference. If you're not great at theory crafting yourself, don't be ashamed to go online and look up builds for the Descendant you want to play and see what they should be using. And then you'll want to come in and make sure all of those are leveled up appropriately. So as you can see here, all of these are maxed out except this one. I've been meaning to get this one done. I'm just not quite ready to invest the money into it. This will cost you a lot of gold and Kuiper shards, but it's going to be extremely worth it. It'll finally make it where you can actually feel like you can do something in these hard boss fights. A big thing for hard mode, I preface this in my beginner tips, but again, one thing you're constantly going to want to be doing is keeping these crafting. I know I don't have any crafting at the moment, so I'm setting a bad example, but energy activators and crystallization catalysts, you're going to want to pump as many of these out as you can. The energy activator in particular has a really long timer to cook it. But the crystallization catalyst isn't as bad. You can get a couple of these out a day. But you're going to want a lot of these. You also want to keep making these fine adjustment control axes as you can. They are expensive to craft in bulk. But these will allow you to re-roll to get god rolls on your gun. So as you can see, for example, my Python has crit rate, weak point damage, attack versus Colossus. You're going to want to roll for good variants of this to ensure that you're doing as much damage as you can in the scenarios you're using your gun. All these things will build together and allow you to do some of the crazy stuff you've probably seen other YouTubers showing. My builds aren't good enough, or I'd do a little showcase for you. But people are getting kills 30, 20, 10 seconds on these hard mode bosses. It's insane. That about sums it up, guys. What you're going to just really want to focus on is getting your external components, getting your reactor, getting your weapons and descendants catalyzed, and your modules set up. And it's going to do you leagues better than trying to just smash your face into the hard mode bosses as soon as you access hard mode. It took me a few days just to get my first hard mode clear because I was a little goofy with how I was farming things. I wasn't really playing it the best. But I've really gotten myself into gear, and I've gotten halfway through the chart in the past couple days. And that's just me and my buddy doing them together, duo. So go out there, guys. Farm up your modules, components. Make sure you're getting the good rolls that you need. And just take your time. There's no rush. It's not like there's going to be a leaderboard that you need to get to the top of. Just have fun with the game. Play what you like. It might not be the most optimal, but you can surely make it work. And just have a great time, guys. It's a game meant to be fun. And that's going to be it for the video, guys. Thank you for coming back and watching again today. If you don't mind, I'm going to set a goal. We're going to try and get to 50 subs before the 7th of August. That will be my birthday, and I'd love to hit that milestone before we get there. Other than that, guys, drop a like on the video, leave me a comment down below, let me know what you would like to see next, and as always, peace.